I'm Pablo Tittonell. I'm professor of farming systems ecology at Wageningen University. Well, we are a group that works on alternative answers to the problems of the world, to the problems of agriculture. So like climate change, global food security, environmental services, and preservation of landscapes in terms of cultural and biodiversity on landscapes. The questions that Mansholt raised in his letter to the EU in '72 are exactly the same questions that we have today. Perhaps the only difference is that now we are facing major problems like climate change. We are having problems, demographic problems everywhere, population growth. We have new emerging economies that are demanding a lot of resources. And we have a major control of multinationals on the production system. There are places in the world where we're overproducing. We're producing beyond the capacity of the system to absorb entropy. That's the basic problem. And in other parts of the world, we are in a situation of defects. On the other hand, these highly productive areas of the world, they export their surpluses to places where people could actually produce their own food. We who support the movement of agroecology, we say is that it's all about principles. It's not about recipes. It's not about technologies. The principle of recycling, the principle of efficiency, the principle of natural regulation. And with that, you can design different kinds of systems. I went to a farm last week in Groningen, near Groningen, and they are doing exactly that, but they are doing it for the conditions they have, the type of soils they have, the type of products, the type of markets, and the type of machinery and knowledge they have in the area. So I think it's what you can learn from these farmers is not the technology they apply in Groningen, but more the principles and the basic ideas in the way they manage their resources. I think the great problem with the Mansholt reform, and which he came to realize at the end of his life, is the disaggregation of functions. Normally we say we would like to have a multifunctional landscape, a landscape that produces food, fiber, energy, but that also hosts biodiversity, is used for recreation, it stores carbon, it controls water flows, it filters water. All those functions have to be together in a landscape. And many of the agricultural activities are actually complementary and can produce synergies when you put them together, like livestock production and crop production. Through specialization, which is what the Mansholt reform actually proposed, you lose many of those functions. You just industrialize the system, you simplify the system, and you subsidize it because now it is simple. Those regulations are not there, so it needs a lot of energy from outside to actually perform. Energy and money, because without subsidy, it doesn't work. Whatever has to do with the design of agricultural production systems using these ideas has to be local. It has to be because we always say to actually succeed in that, you need to bring together nature's knowledge, farmer knowledge, and the newest knowledge and technology from science. All of this. It's a dialogue of wisdoms. But when it comes to understanding why a farmer makes certain decisions, it's actually the farmer is sort of a victim of a certain system, a certain social-political system, and it's actually the ones who set the rules of the game that are responsible for what the farmers do, being either governments or banks or insurance companies or trading companies that trade on food or the agro industry. So actually, in that sense, we cannot think of any solutions without involving policy making. Most importantly, it would be good if you can make this letter publicly available, so that the consumers know. Because actually, the ones who have the greatest power are the consumers, the ones who decide what to buy.